I just don't think there's anything interesting about babies.
There isn't anything interesting about babies.
Babies and I have nothing in common.
Listen, it's not a hot take. Babies are stupid, and they have nothing.
I just can't imagine hanging out with one all day. Hello and good morning.
Good morning, BBs. It's too early.
And it's also Barbie movies we're comfortable covering week.
There's just a lot of buttons, you know what I mean? And like sometimes, welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan.
And listen, we don't promote struck work on this show.
We don't. And we won't be.
And we won't be.
So instead, we will be diving into classic Barbie movies to fill the void in our soul of wanting to talk about movies that people make, mostly.
Yeah. There's a particular movie that if we could talk about it, we would, but we can't because it's not cool. But don't worry, that movie is everything you want it to be. And
hey, as a reminder, everybody, it is not scabbing to go and see movies. We're not talking about it because we are a media source, and that's totally different. But
that's right.
The union is still encouraging you to go and see movies, to go and support film and television, not to cancel your streaming service subscriptions. Instead, if you're like, hey, I want to do something, make sure that you are elevating the voices of the people striking. You can donate to strike funds.
If you go to entertainmentcommunity.org, you can donate to the entertainment community funds, which are distributed amongst people who may not be working for a while and could use the help. And remember that they are not calling for a boycott. They need the numbers to stay strong.
To keep negotiating.
So they know that, hey, people are coming to see this talent. People are coming to see this work that's been done by people.
Yep.
But it is Barbie week.
It is, and in fact, there's actually one more piece of Barbie week here on the channel. I wanted to announce it here really quick. We are doing a Barbie-themed D&D one-shot on Saturday. That's tomorrow. And the money raised during that will be going towards a strike fund. We will have all the info up on social and in the Discord very, very soon. But yeah, we're gonna do a Barbie one-shot. We're gonna raise a little bit of money for the people that are out there picketing and fighting for their wages. Why not have a little fun with it?
Yeah. Have a little fun with it. Hey, I just want you to know, I've had a lovely Barbie week.
Yeah.
I know it's not done yet.
No.
But I've had a lovely Barbie week.
I've had a lovely Barbie week with you as well.
It's been really fun. I've enjoyed doing the deep dive into this stuff with you.
And I've loved our little outfits.
Yeah,
because I just a little outfit week.
Look, we have a lot of things in common. Clearly. But I always love when we get to kind of like dive into something that one of us knows more about than the other, and it's been fun learning because I love fucked up media lore, and there's so much cool fucked up media lore to Barbie, so it's been fun. And I wanted to give you a little gift for my bestie that I think you're going to enjoy.
Oh.
Talking about the commonality between the two of us, I think I found something perfect. This is for you.
We're gonna mind addresses.
Mind the addresses.
Okay, how do I do that?
This is the original, still in the box, first ever Barbie digital camera that comes with Barbie photo designer software.
Oh my God, Anthony.
That's the real deal.
Whoa. And at the top, it says Barbie, software for girls.
Your favorite logo.
Truly and genuinely, maybe my favorite logo.
Are you gonna get a Barbie software for girls tattoo?
I'll do it. Yeah. I'll get almost any tattoo at this point.
I know you will, just to feel something.
Yeah, I'm really just trying to feel alive.
But yeah, we talked about, this is from the Barbie Software for Girls line, which we talked about quite a bit on Monday. And it's from a very particular part of the digital age that Saige and I are both obsessed with, which is toys as electronics, electronics as toys. Computers weren't really 100% yet. Mobile devices weren't really 100% yet. So it was like, how do we build electronics for children?
Wow. CD-ROM for Windows 95.
For Windows 95.
Oh
And we don't have a CD-ROM drive, so we're gonna have to find an image of that CD-ROM online.
100%. It's got scrapbooking software.
It prints stickers if you get the right Avery sticker paper, which I'm sure they still make. And you can that's for you. You decide whatever you want. If you want to open it, you don't want to open it, you want to play with it, you don't want to play with it, that's for you.
I'm not a keep anything in the box girly.
Good.
I'm just not. Do you have things you keep in boxes?
No, I'm not that guy either.
I'm not a collector.
But I always like to let people know that if they want to keep something in the box, they can. Because I know a lot of people are like that.
I need to sometimes be given permission to open it because I'm like, I know other people see things as collector's items.
Hey, BBs, do you want to see what's inside the box?
Shaking. I agree. Just toys should be played with. I don't have a single thing in my life that I'm like, yes, I bought this, but I preserve it instead of using it. I don't collect. I had collections as a kid, but that's just because I'm autistic and not because I wanted to keep things nice or valuable. I just liked having sets of things. You know?
Yeah. I'm the same way. Put that camera on the shelf behind you. We might. Oh, Maybe. It's a beautiful gold. It's a beautiful gold and orange in a way that only something from Y2K could be.
The green power cable.
Baby,
Wow.
that's not USB. This connects through a Barbie green serial cable.
Incredible.
I do have a serial to USB adapter.
Miss Reaper said, I collect stuff, but I use the stuff I collect and I keep it out of the box.
Yeah, same. Look at that. Barbie photo designer. Look at those cool Y2K girls.
See your pictures instantly with a whole new world of computer photo fun.
I believe that the resolution on this is something like 260 by 130 or 230 by 160.
Dude.
It is Game Boy camera sized photos, but color.
Here's what I'm gonna say.
What are you gonna say?
Patreon exclusive Barbie photo shoot this week.
Sure.
Barbie camera photo shoot, that is. Help open. Help with your hands.
Sure. Yeah. These are, hey, if you're looking at this and you're like, whoa, I want you to know, these are surprisingly inexpensive. For whatever reason, these aren't collectible yet.
Because it was made for girls. Oh, it's not actually green. It was just the packaging. It was greened
out.
It's the pretty one that was the pink and silver that's on the picture.
Oh, good.
It's a prettier color than that gold. That gold was looking rough.
That's just, it turns out the plastic had just yellowed.
Yeah.
But it does come with this very 90s Y2K style sparkle jelly wrist strap.
It actually looks way nicer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in perfect shape.
Perfectly preserved.
It's been in the box since like 1998 or something.
Oh my God. Look at the wear on that sticker.
The sticker says, what does it say? It says remember
to upload. When you turn your camera off and then on, all previous pictures still in the camera's memory will be overwritten with any new pictures taken.
You have to connect it to the computer before you turn it off. Amazing.
I was looking in the center of it and I realized, no, of course it's over here.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah, of course it is.
I'm so fucking excited about this. Also, I want to put out something else Miss Reaper said, we love a straight man that can give gifts women actually want. And I gotta say, shout out, Anthony's so good at gifts.
I'm a good gift giver.
He's a really fucking good gift giver.
I come from a family that is horrible. We're all horrible gift givers. And I grew up with just getting terrible gifts. And so I decided as an adult, I'm always like listening for things that people like because I'm like, if you're gonna give somebody something, give them something good.
You are the most thoughtful gift giver I know.
Aw, that's very sweet of you to say.
It's very, very true.
It comes,
This owns.
You can fill out the warranty card. It's probably still under warranty because you just opened it. You get 2 years, I think.
We're gonna take so many pictures.
We're gonna take so
and
many
they're gonna
pictures.
go away when we turn it off and back on again.
You gotta have a parent open this up for you so you can put the battery in it.
Gotta remember to upload.
You gotta remember to upload. Oh my God, even the power button is sparkly pink. It's truly something. So there you go. Your very own digital camera. Did you ever think you'd have one?
I can't wait to take pictures of you. gonna be so fun. We're gonna roll out the photo paper. We're gonna do a little photo shoot on this.
We should do definitely like, you know, Wes who takes the photos at Star Wars Celebration, and he takes like really amazing photos. He always does like the full setup, and then he brings one special camera, and he always gets pictures of everybody with the special camera. Sometimes it's a Polaroid, sometimes it's like a really early camera. He just did all of those beautiful cast photos of the Haunted Mansion cast, where they're like themselves and then blue ghosts of themselves.
That's cool.
Wes did that, and he did it all in camera live right there in front of them.
Wow.
But he always has like a very special little camera, and so I think whenever we do PixelCircus cast photo things, we should always have the Barbie camera around as well.
Yeah.
How can you tell what the resolution will be? Looks real good. Looks real good. I believe it's 320 by 160. We'll have to double check. But,
I believe it's perfect.
But yeah, it's their postage stamp size. 640, 480? Really?
Really?
Okay.
Hey, that's not bad.
Because I know like the Nickelodeon camera that came out after this by Mattel was like 240 by 160.
Yeah. There's something so specific about this era of technology, and I feel the same way I do about the things where you see that pop up where it's like software for girls. Where again, like, I didn't see my niece have anything like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my niece is Gen Alpha. She's baby. And I just don't see them getting anything like this that is like again, we've moved into a place of like, hey, toys are not gendered, and that's excellent. Femininity doesn't have to go away for toys to not be gendered, though. And I want to see still feminine things for children of all genders.
160 by 120.
It's so baby.
It's exactly a Game Boy camera resolution.
Perfect. I love
But yeah,
it.
you're right. I think a lot of those toys are going away. Like when I go, I mean, the toy aisle in and of itself, whenever I go to like a big box store, the toy aisles themselves are getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
They are in general. That's very, very true. And obviously, most toy stores in America are gone.
Yeah.
There are essentially no toy stores anymore. I was talking to my mother about this the other day because we were talking about shopping for my niece's birthday. And I was like, yeah, I'll roll by a toy store. And she's like, there are no toy stores. I was like, oh. Yeah, Toys R Us is gone.
KB was gone a long time ago.
KB was big when I was a kid. That was always in the malls. That was the mall toy store. Yeah.
There are a couple Toys R Us's that are still open. Like a holding company bought the Toys R Us brand.
Yeah.
And I believe there are a couple still around, and they're more experiential, and there are just a couple of them. But yeah, physical objects, physical toys are going away more and more.
Yeah, FAO Schwartz is the other one I was trying to think of. I was like, what was the kind of granola one?
Oh, the fancy one.
That was like the kind of granola one.
Yeah, well, I mean, like that was the one where if you went in New York to the physical FAO Schwartz right up until they closed, they had real people outside as toy soldiers. Do you remember that? That was like their thing, as like they were sort of like the Buckingham Palace Guard.
Were they all like wooden granola toys, or is that just what my mother told me because we couldn't afford to go in there?
Oh no, they was not that at all. They were very expensive toys.
She told me that it was all the boring wooden granola toys when I was a kid and was like, you wouldn't want any of that.
Oh no, FAO Schwartz was a magical fucking wonderland. FAO Schwartz, to go into a physical FAO Schwartz was one of the most amazing experiences ever. I didn't get to go into one until I was an adult when I was living in New York, because I wasn't allowed to go into them as a kid either. My mom was like, no, that's too expensive. We can't go in there.
Yeah.
But they had so many things. They had like, their stuffed animals were the most well-made stuffed animals. If you ever met a kid that had like a really realistic life-size like lion or tiger, like one of those stuffies, those were probably FAO Schwartz. FAO Schwartz had a lab where you could go in and design your own Muppet and turn yourself into a Muppet.
Wow.
And they would hand make it for you and you would come back.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
FAO Schwartz
wild.
was wild as hell.
David McDan said Tinker Toys. I loved that shit so much. Tinker Toys were one of my favorite things as a kid. Did you ever have those?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really satisfying bits and pieces.
They were tactily satisfying, but in terms of building, I did not enjoy them. The Spoke and Hub design of Tinker Toys did not work for me in terms of building.
I loved it. My niece is obsessed with a particular thing right now, and they're like something dogs, and they're just like we've gotten pretty far in making things realistic. Like she's even kind of into the reborn babies thing, which I find terrifying.
Yeah. But
So
I think
weird.
but I understand it, because when my sister was a kid, it was all about which baby is the most like a real baby.
I was not a baby doll kid.
Mm-hmm.
I never liked babies, including now. I didn't want babies around
true.
me then.
I've been walking down the street with Saige, and there'll be somebody coming with a stroller, and we have to cross the street.
Yeah.
Literally, like, we'll jaywalk just right into the middle of traffic. Sage will be like, can't do it.
I'm sorry.
It's like when an aggressive dog is walking down the street and sees another dog.
And
if Sage sees a baby, she's like,
Yeah. Oh my God, I loved Connects so much. Connects were better.
yeah, Connects were way better.
Were the big upgrade. Magnetic.
That's the other. John G-Med 5 in the live studio audience is saying, FAO Schwartz was the place where you got that full replica Han Solo and Carbonite.
I didn't even know.
They sold stuff like that.
I didn't even know.
They had regular toys, but they also sold like once in a lifetime, nobody has this toy.
She told me that's where all the bad toys were.
They also did have like a lot of wooden toys, but like she was lying to you.
Yeah, somebody in chat goes, that was called a lie. And I'm like, yeah, my mother did a lot of those, unsurprisingly. But these dogs that she's into, we've come such a long way of making toys look realistic, and these ones only look like medium real. And she is obsessed with this
These
type
dogs
of
are only
stuffed
medium
dog.
rare.
But like she's obsessed with these stuffed dogs as if they're very realistic. And I'm like, bro, that looks like a straight up stuffed animal.
Yeah.
You've got baby dolls that like their skin looks flushed and you can see a little veins on them.
Oh yeah, where you can tell that they have like subsurface scattering on their blood cells.
Yeah.
You're just like, this is too much.
It's really rough. She wants to start painting reborn babies.
Now, here's what I'm going to tell you, Sage.
It's getting freaky. It's getting freaky. I love her so much. I'm getting worried.
But Sage,
Yeah.
truly, you must enjoy the spookiness of her wanting to do that. It's an artisan thing.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It is.
Like that must be checking off all the boxes.
I love
for you.
it. She's a spooky kid.
Yeah.
We're, spooky in different ways.
Yes. Like you dislike babies.
Yeah.
But like,
I just don't think there's anything interesting about babies.
there isn't anything interesting about babies.
Babies and I have nothing in common.
Listen, it's not a hot take. Babies are stupid and they have nothing.
I just can't imagine hanging out with one all day.
They can't even hold their head up straight.
Yeah.
You got to do it for them.
What would we talk about? A little creeped out? A little proud? Yeah.
But I feel like it would have been like little you getting into like, I don't know, taxidermy or some shit, you know?
Fair.
I feel like that's the same thing and I've seen a lot of people paint the creepy reborn dolls. Those are top tier.
The ones that they make that are like, I made a Dracula baby, I'm like,
Yeah.
hell yeah, that's pretty good.
Let me see. Vampire reborn doll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look. These are perfect in every way. Name a better thing to own, really. Look at that.
I hate it and I love it. Like I hate it, which makes me go, yes, good. I do not want one. I deeply, aggressively do not want one.
No, because
I hate it.
Because it's still baby.
Yeah, I hate it.
And now it's just the creepiest type of baby.
Yeah.
Which you are already creeped out by baby.
Yeah. I do just find babies already a bit creepy.
I do like this little slithering fang.
That one's not bad.
Look at that guy. Hey, it's little baby fang. It's also not incredibly well made, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
You can see the application.
Yeah, not great, not great.
Listen, hey, practice your art.
Yeah.
Get paid for it while you practice. Get better as you go.
Yeah, that's
There's
all.
nothing wrong with that.
Aha.
Congratulations to you and Fang.
I found the kind. Look at these, Anthony. Look, we're in like a regression week of sorts.
Yeah. These are the new hotness.
These are the hotness. Oh, never mind. I can't show you. I
All
will
right.
show you in just a second. But
Okay.
like the hotness in like, no, kids think these are the most realistic things. And I'm like, I was a Webkins kid. I was a big Webkins kid. So like I get stuffed dogs.
Yeah.
But these don't come with a code that gets you on a website. These are just fucking stuffed dogs, dude.
Yeah, I mean, Gen Alpha doesn't want to be on the internet if they don't have to.
Like, isn't that wild?
I don't want to be on the internet if I don't have to, but I remember the internet becoming a thing and me just being like, I'll just live here. I'll just live here in the digital world where it's
Yeah.
cool. And now it's awful.
Why this brand of dog?
I don't know. There's always a brand that pops up that's popular and you're just like, I don't know.
I just want to
who
know
knows?
who did this. I want to know what
What
TikTok
celebrity,
creator,
what
influencer,
TikTok,
yeah.
What show had or influencer had placement.
influencer child.
Yeah, Definitely influenced her child.
Yeah.
Anthony is now required to be on the internet. Try to get off the internet. I dare you.
You can't even find the door.
I dare you. You try to get out of the internet, you walk off this side, you come back this side.
Yeah.
It's a liminal space.
My last thing before we get into actually doing a news show? Question mark?
Oh yeah, you checked off a big life thing.
I did check off a big life thing this week. I saw Paramore live in concert on Wednesday night, and I cried.
Yeah.
It was maybe the greatest concert I've ever been to in my life.
I'm not a huge Paramore fan, but I have a huge amount of respect for Hayley Williams as a performer. Whenever I see clips of her, she has such a presence and a command of the crowd, and also the band is just good. They're just a really good band.
They're so good. And when I see Hayley Williams, I go, I have never been in love. Damn. Hayley Williams.
Hayley Williams isn't even by confusion. It's by reaffirmation.
Yeah.
Like, Hayley Williams can't possibly cause bi confusion in any woman, because you see Hayley Williams and you immediately know
about that.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, okay.
When I thought I was straight, I was always like, when somebody would ask my celebrity crush, I would still say Hayley Williams.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say like my girl crush.
My girl, it was
no,
your crush.
My celebrity crush was still Hayley Williams. Look, we all figured out some things later, but at this point, I think a lot of bi girls also have now at that point lesbian panic, where you're like, this is the woman that makes me think not men at all.
Right.
Hayley Williams.
Yeah, but then like some average 6.5 dude will walk down the street and you'll just run to him.
Yeah.
So like,
I know. Yeah, I know.
Like a literal 6 will walk down the street.
Yeah.
And like do something simple like hold open a door for someone, and you'll just be like, is that the best man ever made?
I actually want to talk about this. There's a TikTok trend going around. We're in the news now. There's 2 TikTok trends. One I absolutely fucking love, and it's just when he's literally ugly.
Oh yeah.
And it's like it either goes to like Tears for Fears. It's either something happens and I'm head over heels. And it's just like a girl crawling towards the camera, and it just says when he's literally ugly.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the funniest things on the planet. And I get it, babes. I get it. I understand. But
we were talking about the Pete Davidson of it all.
Yeah.
And like how even if you're not into Pete Davidson, you understand why people are into Pete Davidson. And if you don't, it's because you've never been out in the world.
The kids call that Riz.
Pete Davidson's got that good ex-con fry cook energy.
Yeah.
Pete Davidson is the guy who you're working a shift at the restaurant, and if you were closing down the restaurant and they're like, you got nothing to do, you'll probably go home with him.
Yeah, he'll walk you to your car and you will take him back to your place because his has too many roommates.
Right, and he also does not have a car.
Yep.
Like that's the vibe. He just is. It's like guy who makes skate videos.
Yep.
Guy who makes skate videos.
Which I agree. Sydney, he's completely average. That's the thing. That's what we're saying.
He checks all the trauma boxes.
Yeah, that's it. When he's literally ugly.
And then if you don't have trauma, it's the sort of guy like you look at and you go, I could have a one night stand with this guy and it'll be totally chill and we won't even have to worry about it.
Hot take. Is this our equivalent of the Manic Pixie Dream Girl?
Oh, the fry cook? Absolutely.
Yeah.
The fry cook, the skater fry cook is absolutely the Manic
ugly
Pixie.
loser boy.
The ugly loser fry cook
when
instead of a Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
When he's literally ugly and a loser.
But it's so funny how aware bi women are of this, where it's just like, there are also all those TikToks where it's like me talking about a woman and it's just like, I could never approach. She's beautiful. She's perfect. She's amazing. Like the seas part for her as she walks.
Yeah.
And then it's like me talking about men. Fuck those goblin, horrible, like fucking like what, and it's just like 90% of my relationships have been with men.
I posted something on my Instagram story like 2 days ago that was just like me having to constantly remind the world that I'm bi and my track record doesn't show it. It's not because I don't like women. It's just because I have no game with women.
Do you think, now let me ask you this. This is a pretty genuine question, actually.
Okay.
Do you think do you think there is an idealization of being in a relationship with a woman just because, like you're saying, so many bi women are intimidated to get into a relationship with a woman or to hit on a woman? Like it's hard to navigate because, you know, society doesn't train you for it the way you're trained to like hit on them. But like, so you have these horrible opinions about men because you've been in so many relationships with men. Yeah. And if you had more relationships with women, do you think you'd be like, ugh, neither of them are worth the trouble?
No, I think women are better.
That's fair. That's fair.
It. No, like here's the thing. They are.
Women are scary to talk to?
Women are better.
I thought so until I was about 30.
Yeah.
And now I'm 30 or 40, so.
I'm just going to stand by
later
that.
In life.
I don't think that would ever change. Now, do I think that women would be less scary over time or less intimidating?
Yes.
Sure. But they'd still be better.
Better, but would they be as idealized, do you think?
No, and I don't even think it's necessarily just like an idealization of women. I think it is, at the end of the day, for me personally, I desire the like respect of women so much more than the respect of men. The respect of men means nothing to me because a man will say he respects me and catcall me on the street. Like literally, I mean, there's another thing from TikTok.
But like respectfully.
Right. But like literally, I mean, there's another thing going around on TikTok right now where it's like the reason that the respect or the reason that the attention of men, not the respect, because there is no respect. Like men don't respect women, and that's
I respect you.
When we say men, we don't.
No,
have
I don't mean everybody. It's like no,
we're using the broad sense of we don't have to say not all men because enough men that it's a problem.
No, I just want you to know I respect you,
and I believe you.
Yeah,
and I respect you.
Hey, thanks.
And it's a very short list. But when they say that the attention of men means nothing, it's because, again, the greater gesture of men will fuck a corpse. Like, that's it. There is literally a thing where, like, in funeral homes, they have to be like, we don't really want to hire men because men will fuck a corpse. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
So the attention of men, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You'd give attention to a rock that had tits. So, like, whatever. Are
there rocks that have tits?
Sometimes they form a little like that.
Where? I gotta go.
Like, that's it. That's it. It's a societal problem. But the other thing I wanted to say about this was I got a TikTok that was like men talking about what they find attractive in women and it being like, and then a woman responding, and it was one of those like stitch after stitch. And it was like the fundamental misunderstanding that men have about what about men is attractive to women and how consistently the things that they do are actually to be attractive to other men. I talk about the book, The Politics of Reality by Marilyn Fry all the time, which has a great essay on this. But this woman replies completely earnestly. And she's like, let me tell you what I find attractive. I was in a pet store picking up food for my dog the other day, and a man who was in some kind of like trade work jumpsuit was in there at the little stand where you pick up the individual treats, picking up treats for his dog. And she was like so like fawning over this guy and was like, he took time out of the middle of his day to go and get treats for his dog. And I was like, hey, ladies, the bar is in hell. What are we doing?
Describing it that way is shows how low the bar is. It's okay to be attracted to, like, I really enjoyed that this is somebody who shows kindness for pets and
but
his
she was
animals,
like, he was so special. Yeah. He was so special to her. And she was completely serious and she wasn't making the commentary of like, I can't believe that is how low the bar is. She was like, that was literally it. Is a man. And I was like, hey, bestie, I'll talk to you at the meeting this month, but like.
Can I tell you? So I have a new neighbor. And I was walking to the car this morning and the new neighbor comes out and is just like, oh, hey. And I was like, oh, hey, you just moved in. And they're like, yeah. Oh, well, it's great. It's nice to meet you. Like, what's your name? What do you do? Like, what does your partner do? I was just like, oh, no, it's just me. And they were like, oh, well, I've heard you, like, I'm sorry, I just heard you having, like, really, really deep sounding kind of conversations. I was like, no, that's my dog. No, the deep, sweet conversations you heard me having, I have a dog, and that's the way I talk to my dog.
You do got real thin walls.
I do have thin walls.
You got real thin walls, man.
I do have thin walls. I had so Saige before Saige's current place. Saige lived in a couple places that did not have good AC, so
Yeah.
she was over at my place a lot during the summers. And I had one neighbor. Do you remember it was
Call guy.
aggressive phone call guy?
Phone call guy.
He was like, I'm making deals and I'm doing things and
That
I'm
guy
on the
was
phone.
always be closing as a man.
Yeah, he really was. And like, I don't think he was ever talking about anything because you could kind of hear like clearly what he was talking about. And I
Yeah.
think he was just applying business importance tone to everything.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever had one real work call. And then that neighbor moved out and my last neighbor moved in, who I absolutely love. She was an absolute sweetheart.
with the dog.
Like, no. The other side, the side that I actually share a wall with. She was really lovely and she loved Dagger and we didn't really know each other, but when I got hurt, she was like, hey, if you ever need somebody to just take the dog out, like I'm happy to do it. Or if you need somebody to like take your recycling down or something, I'm happy to.
so
She was very
sweet.
sweet. That was like one of the first times we ever spoke to each other. The only issue with her, 2 nights a week, and they would be random nights. She would have her partner over, and they would watch Bollywood films so loud
Okay.
until like midnight, 1 in the morning. And here's the thing: I'm calling out Bollywood films because Bollywood films have a very specific, like,
Oh yeah, you know when
bombastic-
there's a Bollywood film playing.
It's musical numbers and bombs going off in a Michael Bay movie at the same time.
Yeah.
And it was
It's
a
awesome
lot.
when it's not coming from your neighbor's apartment
Yeah.
at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Great to watch. And yes, and they're also very long. It was like 3
Yeah.
hours. Like none of them, they're all Endgame.
Yeah.
Every Bollywood movie is Endgame.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, but yeah, I have a new neighbor now, and she thought that I was in a very caring and respectful relationship with Dagger, and I am.
Yeah.
I am.
I want to read some of these from chat. Terracy said, some lady on Reddit said she slept with a dude because his towels were arranged nicely on the rack. Yeah, that sounds right.
I had somebody come back to my place once who was just like, just shocked that it was decorated.
Yeah.
Just shocked that it was decorated
Yes.
in any sort of way. And I was like, listen, we're 30 or 40 years old.
Right.
If you're going over to somebody's house at this point and like the furniture is
Anthony.
mismatched and like, come on.
Anthony. That's the norm.
It's so weird to me.
Pandragon Queen said, what gets me is when men are praised because they hold their child or change a diaper. Like, oh, they're such a good dad.
That's baseline.
I got into a
That's
fight.
below baseline. If a baby was crying and there was no one around, I would pick it up and hold it. That's not even dad.
Right. I don't even know whose baby that
I don't
is.
even know whose baby this is, but
And
it's
then he
crying.
goes to jail.
And then I would go to jail and there would be nobody to bail me out because
Yeah.
I've been having all of those nice conversations with my dog.
I'm not great at being introduced to people's parents.
Mm-hmm.
I'll admit, I don't always make the best first impression with people I'm in a relationship with's parents. I'm not the girl you bring home to mother.
You don't even like meeting friends' parents.
I hate parents.
So funny.
I really do.
I was on FaceTime with my mom once, and we were like 6 months into hosting the show, I think.
Yeah.
And I turned and I was like, "Oh, and here's Saige," and Saige was like, and just did like a weird like
you never spring your mother on anybody.
just
but
like did like a weird like one of these cartoon walkaways.
look, look, you can't surprise people with that kind of thing. But I was meeting my ex's parents for the first time when we were together, and
Yeah.
his stepdad was there. And he was talking about his daughter and his daughter's husband, and they have a baby, and she is the like financial. She makes all of the money for the family, and she fucking crushes.
Yeah.
He's not talking about how proud that his daughter is like a completely self-made, very successful businesswoman.
Okay.
Like has a fucking empire, this woman.
Yeah.
Kicks ass. And he's like, you know, she's always working, she's always doing these things, but her husband is there, you know, babysitting. They're taking care of the baby every day.
No.
That's not called babysitting.
No.
And you know
Surely
what he
you're
says?
familiar with surely you're familiar with the two-parent system where one works full-time and the other stays home with the child.
And he's like, you know, I get it. I think it's very modern, it's very good. But you know, it's like he's the mother. I'm not kidding. He said, it's like he's the mother. And I had been quiet and I had been good because I knew his tiny little mother needed me to be polite. The worst when they have a tiny little mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, you mean a father? And he went, what? And I went, a father. What you're describing is a father. When you say he acts like the mother because he takes care of his baby, the one that he also made and has, you're describing
That's
being a father.
That's the father.
And he was like, you know, but like, no.
No, father go work trip, smoke cigar. Yell, get on phone.
I just watched my ex's eyes just, and I watched his mother get smaller.
Look, to be fair,
To be fair.
nobody brought that up first, including the person that you were with at the time. Did not bring that up first.
Correct.
Well, that's why.
He had a shrinking mom. Yeah, I'm telling you. These kind of mothers just get tinier.
Oh yeah, I know the
They're
type.
so little. They get so small when they ask you what you make for dinner.
Yeah, would they come in and they ask you what your life is like, and you start giving answers that don't line up. They start shrinking.
They get so little when they ask if you ever want to take a spin class with them. You know? They get so little when they show you one of their paintings that they do while their husband is at work. They get so small.
And they get so tiny.
They just keep getting teensier. Every time. Every time that their husband says something a little bit misogynistic or homophobic, they just get a little bit teensier.
And that's what they want, because then, right in the shirt pocket.
Exactly.
Or just one of your many shirt pockets. Listen, I was running low on pastel clothes. This is where we're at.
I want to show my dress.
Show your dress.
Look. I figured there's all of those like vintage like night dressy Barbies.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going for.
Night dressy Barbie.
Anyways, it's 9:41.
Anyways.
We just been chatting.
Yeah, we're just chatting.
I love just chatting with y'all.
Yeah.
If we'd put the batteries in.
Oh, it'd
if
be
we put the
over for
batteries
you.
in.
It would be over for you.
Kaylee is in chat and said, I'm just here to compliment the eye makeup and the outfit and run back to Los Angeles. Kaylee, we hope you had a lovely time at Comic-Con.
Oh, but we hope it was a good Comic-Con. Bring me back something. It doesn't have to be anything special. Just bring me back something. Try and make it special.
Anthony, I just want to do the goofy news in here. I just want to do the silly shit because I love how in sync we are and how in sync our feeds are.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at this same thing until like 2:30 in the morning last night.
Yeah.
Just giggling.
So that, yeah, I think this, and then there's one thing that I really want to show you, and then we'll get into some of this Barbie stuff.
Yeah, in a moment here, we're going to be talking about classic Barbie movies. Anthony and I went back and we watched a bunch of classic Barbie classics.
I'm literally leaving right now. Hey, you've been my friend the whole time you've been at Comic-Con. You're just thinking about me now? Because I reminded you? Not even a Funko Pop?
You don't want a Funko Pop.
No, but surely she was
Every
handed...
time you get a Funko Pop, you try to pass it off on me, and I say, no, I don't want that Funko Pop either.
Oh, that's a spicy meatball, Grumpy Steen.
Oh!
Thank you very much for that. As a reminder, we do thank everybody who donates to us at the end of the show, but that was a particularly spicy meatball.
That's very kind, thank you. When you said it, I like looked at chat and I was like, what did somebody do?
No, listen, she's not gonna buy a Funko Pop. When you go to Comic-Con, they hand you 8 Funko Pops.
Yeah.
That's all.
When you enter San Diego.
Yeah. It's like, welcome to San Diego. You have to transport these 3 Funko Pops.
Yeah, please. They're all going to landfills.
So our feeds the other night, apparently being in sync, showed us... this is so wild. It's a subreddit called I Didn't Have Eggs.
I Didn't Have Eggs is a subreddit with screenshots that people of comments that people left on recipes for the bad substitutions they made, usually poorly reviewing recipes for being like, well, I tried to do this and then it turned out bad and that's your fault.
Yes, this is one of the, yes, they literally fuck with the recipe and give it 1 star. That's the entire subreddit.
I love incredibly niche subreddits. I'm not somebody that will ever scroll Reddit, but I love to bookmark an incredibly niche subreddit.
I can't in good conscience sub to this one because I know I'll be tired of it in a day. But this is great stuff. So here's the first one that had me cracking up. I noticed there were no eggs in this recipe, so I added one. What a disappointment. The edges were baked and the middle was complete mush, even after I put it back in the oven for 40 minutes. The recipe didn't say put eggs in it.
It's probably because you put eggs in a recipe that didn't need eggs.
The recipe didn't need eggs in it.
Here's one I found this gem on a caramel ice cream recipe. I don't blame the recipe for what happened. I should have stopped after dropping the eggs or after spilling half a bag of sugar, but yet things got really bad when I was making the caramel. I was using a cheap spoon made of cheap plastic, and I didn't realize it was melting because the caramel would stick to the spoon and distort the spoon. The melted plastic sort of mixed with the caramel before cementing to the pot. I owe my housemate a new pot. My tip, use a heat-resistant spoon. You just melted plastic.
There are certain communities on the internet, older communities usually, or communities that are less online overall, where the comment section is just a place for them to tell stories about their life. It's just a well for them to scream down.
Yeah.
I love this. Hi, Jessica. Just curious, could I change the coconut with shredded cheddar cheese? Will this work? And do I need to change
Flavor-wise. Flavor-wise.
And do I need to change the composition of other ingredients? Hi, Ioana. No, I don't recommend using cheese in this brownie recipe. Hey, Ioana?
The greatest clapback of all time.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Here's another one where it's a 1-star review. I didn't have potatoes, so I substituted rice. I didn't have paprika, so I used another spice. I didn't have tomato sauce, I used tomato paste. A whole can, not a half can. I don't believe in waste.
That all rhymed.
Yes. My friend gave me the recipes. She said you couldn't beat it. There must be something wrong with her. I couldn't even eat it.
Okay, Dr. Seuss.
Passive-aggressive Seussian poetry about fucking up a recipe.
Here's one. Carrots have way too much sugar, so I replaced them with shredded kale. Cake turned out rather nasty, so 2 stars. Unsure of what went wrong, but it's also dry.
Here's what happened, Chrissy.
It's a carrot cake.
You put kale in a carrot cake.
You said carrots have too much sugar.
In a carrot cake. It's not the other things in the carrot cake, like the sugar. It's the carrots that really put it over.
Here's one for a London broil marinade where there is no Pepsi or Coke, and it's saying, we used Pepsi, so I'm not sure if that's why it was a bit too sweet, but we'll use regular soy sauce next time if we don't have a Coke.
And the person who writes the recipe says, there isn't any Coke or Pepsi in this recipe. Don't substitute Coke for Pepsi. Don't put Pepsi in. It's soy sauce. This is my favorite. Haven't tried, 1 star. Fucking what are you doing? Hey, this is a really poorly written recipe. No mention of corn. Do you cook the corn first? How much corn? That's a lot of cream. Is it for one recipe or to keep around? Do you just use crema? I'm totally confused. This recipe is for crema mexicana. Nowhere in this recipe does it call for corn, nor do I believe it's poorly written. Please read thoroughly. It's for Mexican sour cream, not creamed corn.
How about this one? Hey, this one's a positive review that says, I have quite a few recipes for vanilla pudding, but this one just took the #1 spot. Not too sweet, smooth buttery consistency, nice vanilla finish. I did not follow the directions.
You didn't follow the recipe. You're not rating the recipe. I just don't know what to do. This is another one that you see a lot, which is, hey, potatoes are super high oxalate, and suggesting subbing turmeric for saffron proves that you don't get what a low oxalate diet is. Hey, I never stated this dish was for an oxalate diet. It's just a Spanish recipe for chickpea stew. Thanks for the 1-star rating. Much love. I didn't make it for your diet.
This one's my favorite. Very good icing. I just didn't realize that I couldn't substitute the heavy cream for mayonnaise, and I was just devastated when I tried it. Maybe mention that next time. But other than that, it was delicious. Please do state in the recipe if you cannot substitute the heavy cream for mayonnaise.
Yeah, please state all the things you cannot substitute. That's what a recipe is. A recipe is a list of ingredients, specific ingredients that give you a type of food. To substitute something is to deviate from the recipe. Here's a great one. Hey, not making these again. I was on the phone talking to my sister and burned up the whole batch. But the first time I made them, they were amazing. One star! Because I was talking on the phone and burnt them. This is another thing that you see in particularly older or less online communities. They will rate their personal experience or their personal story. They don't understand they're leaving a rating for the actual thing. They're just like, well, my night was 1 star. How was yours? No, Tezra. Review the recipe.
Hey, can I make this frittata without egg?
No, it's a
frittata.
It's an egg frittata. It's a frittata.
It's an egg-based recipe. You cannot.
Whew.
Not everyone likes bacon or ranch. Those are my 2 most hated flavors.
Okay. Then don't.
Then why did you do this?
Just cook something else. It's a whole website full of recipes. Saltiest online recipe I've ever made. Threw out dinner and got fast food. Hi, Ryan. That's why we mentioned using no salt Cajun seasoning, including right in the recipe card. Sorry you breezed right past these important tips, and we hope you try the recipe again as intended. This is the thing. The people on the other side of this are the most passive-aggressive people, too. It's just a cycle.
In the recipe above for olive oil brownies, I can't see where or how to add the black beans. Hi, Kate. There are no black beans in this recipe.
What are you fucking... I didn't give this a good rating because I don't like oatmeal raisin cookies, but everyone in my family enjoyed them. Guess it's an acquired taste. Sorry, Beth.
Sorry, Beth.
Hey, Beth. Sorry cookies suck. Everybody else thinks it's cool, but I don't, Beth. Oh, God. Oh, so there you go.
Cut the water back by 1/2 a cup or the batter would have run all over the pan. Cake fell and is dry. I will eat this cake, but I will not be using the recipe again.
Hey, they make multiple sized pans, bud.
There was one for a lemon cake recipe, like a homemade lemon cake recipe.
I saw it was like too tart, too dense.
No, it was not that one. It was somebody saying, I ran out of time and decided to use a box mix, but I put the fresh strawberries on it and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
The recipe was for the lemon cake.
Yeah, the idea to put strawberries on top of it was a good idea, and I used that.
The cake was just okay.
It turns out when you add good things to other good things,
it was like a mid-review.
Pretty good. Anyways, there you go.
You know what? If you just want something today, if you just want a little something for your day to take you off of, I don't know, signing on to Twitter.
Yeah. Try I didn't have eggs.
Try r/I didn't have eggs.
Ask your doctor if not having eggs is right for you.
It is, actually.
It actually is.
I think I'm a little allergic to eggs.
It's pretty good for me as well.
Not having eggs is pretty good for me.
I try to keep things anti-inflammatory. Except online when I'm posting. Ooh. Hey, Saige.
Yes, Anthony.
Did you know that the internet doesn't belong to us? It belongs to the children. I
do feel that way.
The internet belongs to the youth.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the world does.
Yeah, the world belongs to the youth. You are, I feel like you're at the age where you're just getting that feeling now. You're like, oh, things are popping up that I don't understand that aren't from me.
I'm not the youth anymore.
You're not the youth.
That just happened.
I have not been the youth I'm 30 or 40 years old. And I've been the youth in a while. But every once in a while, I see what the youth is into, and I do really question it. I'm a pretty permissive person, I think. I'm a pretty open thinker.
Yeah. I was just sitting here being like, why does my niece want these stuffed dogs so bad?
Yeah, I'm just like, hey, I want all the kids to have fun.
Yeah.
The biggest thing on the internet right now is something called Skibidi Toilet. Are you familiar with Skibidi Toilet, Saige?
I can't say I am.
Folks, Skibidi Toilet is the most popular series of videos on YouTube and is huge on TikTok. It just got its first licensed game for Android. It is the work of one animator in Georgia, country Georgia, not state Georgia.
Okay.
And, he posts a video, and within 24 hours, 70 million, 80 million, 90 million
Whoa.
views.
Can I click these links now? I wasn't allowed to click them.
I'm going to click this first link because it is the series, Skibidi Toilet,
Okay.
in order. And we're just gonna take a look at some Skibidi Toilet here. This is the entire show. We'll play the first one with audio, and then
The audio's going to be Skippy.
you'll get the point.
It's going to be Skibidi. Oh, well, no, that's music. That's music. That's music.
But yeah,
Cut that off. Please. Thank you. No. Bod's going to get muted. That's unfortunate.
But it's that song, if you've heard that song.
Okay.
And then Skibidi, Skibidi, Skibidi. That's how it starts. This video, 100 million views. Oh my God.
Yeah, just mute.
Oh my God. Now there are 3 of them, Saige.
There's only 2.
Oh, wait for it.
Oh.
A secret third. It turns into Skellington. Now, one of the things that people like about this series, Saige, is the rich lore, which begins here in episode 3, where the Skibidi Toilets begin to invade the city. And now the people must figure out a way to stop the Skibidi Toilets. In Skibidi Toilet episode 8, we are introduced to the camera head men. I believe it's this one or the next one. Yes. The camera head men are the only ones that can flush the Skibidi Toilet heads and stop them. And that's the
Okay.
story. And the deep, rich lore of this continues for 100 episodes. Each one of them with hundreds of millions of views. Here's what I will say that I understand about this. I understand YouTube poop posts made from source filmmaker, which is what this is. This is something that's been around since Team Fortress and Source Engine, right?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta tell you, I don't understand why this particular series of animations blew up and why people are so obsessed with it. But this is the most popular series on YouTube right now. And it's on like episode 100. You just found the wiki.
Yeah.
There are cameramen, speaker men, TV men. The toilet heads can control people's minds, but not TV men. So TV men can fight against the mind control toilet heads. This is all lore. It's huge. It's a huge, huge deal. And this is one guy in Georgia who's actually an animator. Says he could have made these in Blender, but it would take like 3 or 4 times more. He just likes how readily available all of the assets are in the Source Engine and how he can do everything in real time.
Uh-huh.
And he's putting these things up. They're monetized.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
They're monetized times
You're in that YouTube Shorts program.
times 100 million views. And we're talking about 100 million views in a day. So they're making that good AdSense money.
Wow. And now it's interesting because AdSense is not traditional on YouTube Shorts and they're exclusively a Shorts show. So for those who don't know, Shorts works more like TikTok's creator fund, where a certain amount of money is brought in by views on Shorts and then is distributed based on what percentage of that views you contributed to on YouTube that day.
Yeah.
So there isn't a direct monetization because ads don't run traditionally on Shorts.
Yeah, sorry. I use AdSense as a word for everything YouTube does.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
Payment.
And it is technically within AdSense. So
Yeah.
just, you know, hey, maybe the BBs want to know how that works.
No, for sure. Thank you for clarifying. But like, yeah, 100 million. I mean, each of these has 100 million views. So, and he's putting up more and more, like at least once a week, twice a week, something like that. They do upload normal short videos too. So what they'll do is they'll put up seasons, and they'll put up seasons in traditional, like they're still vertical, but they're in like a widescreen container.
Okay.
And so he'll put up the seasons as like videos that are a few minutes long, and those have
that's what I want to see.
50, 60 million views as well.
Because that's where you're getting straight up AdSense of money.
Now people are saying, I've never seen these before. I've never heard of this before. Yes, this is what I mean when I say the internet is for the youth. None of us are watching this, but it is currently the most popular thing across multiple
find
platforms.
The actual channel. Here we go.
Oh, it's Boom Da Fuck is the name of the channel, or Da Fuck Boom.
That's the official one.
Yeah.
Wow, 20 million subscribers.
Yep.
Yeah, looking at their compilations, 30, 70, 24 million
A day ago,
views.
2 days ago,
Holy
6
shit.
days ago.
14 million, 33 million, 38 million views.
In a couple weeks. And YouTube, when you are putting up videos for AdSense, YouTube prioritizes quickly growing videos. So a video that's making millions of views in its first day gets all of like the prime advertisers.
Sure does.
This is it. Skibidi Toilet. Just a silly little thing. It was based on a TikTok trend. You recognize the music immediately.
Yeah.
It was based on, there was this one TikTok of a woman who I believe was belly dancing to the song that went viral, and people started making memes off of that. And he just took the scatting part of the song and was like, this is funny. I'll make a head in a toilet sing it. Oops. I'm the most popular YouTube creator of all time.
Wow. Yeah, this does not hit this is not I don't in my
I don't. Not for me. Try. But if I was a kid, I don't know, maybe I'd dig this.
Here's what I'll say. As someone who was the generation of Shrek is love, Shrek is life,
Yeah.
regrettably, don't watch it. Don't fucking watch it. Do not do it.
No.
I do get why I don't get it.
Sure. There's something in the zeitgeist right now for kids that makes this perfect. And we're not part of that zeitgeist because we're not children, so we don't know. Skywalker says, oh no, I'm now a lore master about this. It's terrible. Yeah, I went a little bit down the lore because it's easy because the episodes are like a few seconds long. And Kotaku did a great write-up. I believe it was friend of the show, Duck Valentine, Rebecca Valentine, who always writes the good stuff. No, this was Levi Winslow. I apologize. But Levi did a really long deep dive on Kotaku and an interview with the creator and how like just the creator was super surprised. Because we all did this. We all dicked around in Source Filmmaker.
Absolutely.
We all made weird stuff and we were like, I can't believe I made this animate.
Yeah.
Not all of us got 100 million views on our weird stuff.
Right. Arniche said, I think I would have liked this in high school. It was the Salad Fingers era. I was a huge Salad Fingers kid. I was really into Salad Fingers.
David Firth is still doing it. If you go to David Firth's YouTube channel, still doing it. Made a new Salad Fingers, I think like a year ago, but still makes shorts and is working on a game currently.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's this weird, every generation has their weird non sequitur humor, right? You think all the way back to like the 60s and the 70s with like The Pet Rock.
Yeah.
That's the joke.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like this weird thing that everybody just goes, yes, we agree that we will play along with this.
Right. Fascinating. Salad Fingers was a bit traumatizing. Was too youth for that. Yeah, I was definitely too young for Salad Fingers, but I was a deeply disturbed child.
Yeah.
Because like Salad Fingers realistically was probably more to my brother's like actual demographic of the age to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was probably in high school, which puts me in elementary school.
Yeah. I was allowed to watch horror stuff from a really early age, like from the age of being like a toddler.
Yeah.
So I always kind of gravitated towards that stuff. So none of the creepy early internet stuff really, I was actually primed for creepy early internet. I was ready for it.
I feel the same way.
And it desensitized me way too much to stuff, I think, early on. And it took a long time to re-find my humanity after that.
Yeah, 100%.
Like the idea of like the quote unquote dark humor that would come out of my mouth as a kid that was just like horrible shit to say.
Same.
Took me a while to get out of that.
Yeah.
This seems
Happy Tree Friends.
Yeah, this seems much more chill. You know what I mean?
It is way more chill.
It's chill about other people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I think that humor for like millennial kids was really mean-spirited.
Mm-hmm. We were all getting the end of that Gen X irony and sarcasm.
Yeah.
And so it took a while for that meanness to go away.
Uh-huh.
And I think it turned into surrealist.
Yes.
Sometime toward the end of millennial and beginning of Gen Z.
Well, there's a lot of commentary on why Gen Z's humor is the way that it is. And there's a lot of people kind of like diving into this in that like the world is so fucking absurd that it's almost impossible for anything but like surrealist humor to be funny.
Yes. It's like how Dadaism came out of like intense economic situations.
Yeah.
Like all you can do is just, it's absurdism.
Yeah.
Absurdism makes people laugh in really tough times.
Right. And I'm on that border. I'm like just about a cusp. I'm at the very end of millennial. I was born at the end of 95. I was born December of 95 and the cutoff's 97. So I'm a millennial by 1 year.
Yeah.
So my humor sits in a very strange place in it. This is Gen Alpha though.
Yeah.
This is not even Gen Z.
Well, Comrade Ender is saying as a full-on Gen Z kid, humor was already pretty surreal and nonsensical. Yes.
That's what we're saying.
You got the end of that. It turned from this irony, right, and this sarcasm. You almost got like very early on. You got like David Letterman into Conan O'Brien. If you think about like the mainstream humor, you think like things started becoming. If I'm being sarcastic and smarmy and ironic,
which is the Gen X,
I'm doing that ironically as well, and we're making fun of how stupid it is to be ironic, which is like the Conan O'Brien.
Which is, I mean, that's Gen X to me. They're Gen Z.
No. But I'm saying like that's Conan O'Brien is like more millennial because he took over for David Letterman, who was definitely the Gen X guy.
Yeah.
David Letterman was like smarmy to be smarmy.
I'm too young to have realistically watched Conan though, too. You know?
But I'm saying like that's where the humor starts like funneling down. And then you get into Adult Swim, which I think did a huge thing for that. I mean, and I'm talking about mainstream.
Yeah.
Obviously online we were getting things like people have already mentioned it.
Yeah.
Like things like You're the Man Now Dog.
Yeah.
And stuff like that where it was just like, or Bury Me With My Money, which I still go to all the time.
Yeah.
Where it's just like these one weird like phrases or little goofs or like honestly like neurotypical sort of vocal ticky sort of things that we find interesting.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is this one funny thing that happened. Say it over and over again.
Yeah. Homestar Runner is one of our favorites.
Yeah. Homestar Runner. Tom Goes to the Mayor, which started like the Adult Swim thing of like Tim and Eric and all of that.
Which was not my humor. Gen Alpha starts at 2010, somebody was asking. So the youngest members of Gen Alpha are 13 right now.
Which is perfect for Skibidi
Or I mean the
Toilet.
oldest, not the youngest.
Perfect
the oldest.
for a Skibidi Toilet.
Exactly. The oldest members of Gen Alpha are 13 right now. The youngest are being born next year. Because it ends in 2024.
Comrade Ender saying Gen Z went for regular show. Yeah, it was like Adventure Time into regular show.
Yeah.
Into like Flapjack.
Yeah.
Like that sort of thing. Or Gumball.
Yeah.
Like that sort of stuff.
Chowder.
Chowder.
Chowder was weird.
All of that like weird stuff. Yeah. God. Self-aware can opener. I cannot imagine being 13 now. God.
Right?
What a tough time for it to be 13.
Well, I want to talk about then what it was like when I was 13, because we are diving into the Barbie movies. We don't, we didn't even leave a ton of time for this, and I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with that.
That's fine. We're just having a little bit of a nostalgic day, honestly.
And honestly, I think when we watched all 3 of these movies, we watched 3 Barbie movies.
Yes.
We found that one of them was really worth our time.
100%. So here were the pillars that we set up. We sat down, and Anthony was kind enough to let me choose the Barbie movies that we were going to watch, that I was going to make him watch. And the movies that I chose were Barbie and the Princess and the Pauper, Barbie and the Diamond Castle, and Barbie and the Nutcracker.
Yeah. So there were reasons that they were that you chose them. Barbie and the Nutcracker was the first sort of modern animated.
It was the first Barbie movie.
Barbie movie, and then Barbie the Princess and the Pauper is the kind of like most well loved one, and then Barbie and the Diamond Castle is just gay.
Yeah. So I chose one that was the oldest, one that was the most beloved, and one that was the gayest. And specifically, in the Diamond Castle's gotten a lot of attention for it, and a lot of people diving into it. So I think we should go movie by movie. I think we should start at Nutcracker.
Start at Nutcracker.
And let's work our way forward. What were your thoughts on Barbie and the Nutcracker?
Barbie and the Nutcracker, I think, sets a template for these movies that makes a lot of sense. Most of these movies start with Barbie and Kelly, her current little sister.
Nope.
No?
Kelly doesn't exist anymore. Kelly is Chelsea now.
Chelsea, sorry.
Yep.
Barbie and Kelly are in the middle of some sort of situation, and Kelly is having a rough time, and Barbie tells her a story so Barbie plays characters in these films. So Barbie is the sugar plum princess in this, and it also sets a couple other precedents for these Barbie movies. Number 1, these things are made with $48.
Yeah, they are.
You could see that Mattel was like, let's see if it's even worth it to make a movie in this.
A lot of people were not ready to invest in girls' media.
It is like watching one of those Asian news channels that makes really, really quick 3D mock-ups of what's happening in the news.
This is the trailer for it.
It is PS2 as all get out.
Yes.
The animation has that look between mocapped and stiff somehow. But here's what I will say. They knew where to put their money.
Yeah.
They knew where to put that $48. Number 1, they hired a real dancer to be the choreographer and do the mocap for all of the ballet in this movie.
And the ballet's good.
Yeah,
they did great mocap for this.
They're a huge
It's not well CGI'd over it.
No. But they're huge ballet breaks. They do like full like choreographed numbers from the actual ballet. And I thought that was really cool. The other place where they put their money, and this is something that they do in every movie.
Tim Curry.
The villain.
They put their money in Tim Curry.
Tim Curry plays the Mouse King. And Tim Curry, every time he's talking, you're just like, this is a real animated movie.
Yeah.
This is real and it's good.
This animation, I think, is a great example of like what this movie looks like.
The real mocap put on the Sugar Plum fairies just makes them look like haunted dolls.
Yeah, it does.
It's real bad.
They have a little bit of creepiness to them now in the way that they move. It's very interesting because it looks so much like they made their 3D model of the characters, and the rest is completely generic. They were just like, this is a built into this program's snowy background.
Yeah.
You know?
The other thing that they do to save a lot of money is they will pre-render flat backgrounds. So they'll make a 3D scene, render it once, and then put the 3D characters on top of that flat scene. So the whole thing has like a PC CD-ROM sort of feel to it, which is kind of nostalgic in a way.
Yeah.
This was, I believe, in 2001.
It was.
So you can see a lot of also influences that they have. There's like a heavy Anastasia influence in this.
Yeah.
Like right down to the point of like the Mouse King has like a wacky bat sidekick. You know, like it's everything feels very like, ooh, we liked Anastasia.
Yeah.
Like maybe a couple of the people on this even like worked on Anastasia. I don't know. Fox had shuttered that shit by this point. But it's not great. But it's fine.
It's definitely nostalgic. It hit that for me. This is one that I remember from my childhood. I was definitively the target demographic in 2001. I turned 6. So like Barbie and the Nutcracker was awesome to me. I watched the making of the Barbie movie. And what's so interesting is I heard one of the people who work on it say something that just absolutely shocked and astounded me. They were like, people ask us why we've waited so long to make a Barbie movie. You know, Barbie's been around since the 60s. Why has there not been additional media about Barbie? And she said, we knew if we were going to do a Barbie movie, it had to be CGI.
Oh.
We needed the technology to do it in CGI.
They knew that from the 1960s. That was very forward thinking of Mattel.
Yeah.
What a weird thing to say.
Why did it need to be CGI? It would look so much better if you had done it in actual animation.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it doesn't get much better by the time we get to The Princess and the Pauper, which was 2004.
Yeah.
It does look better. And they figured out more techniques. They figured out a better way to do things inexpensively.
There's a level with the games and the movies that they want it to look like a doll that I think is very interesting.
Yeah.
But it is very funny that they were not like, they were like, we cannot draw Barbie.
No.
Barbie cannot be a genuine animation.
To draw Barbie is to destroy Barbie.
They were like, we knew it had to be CGI. Okay.
All right, if you say so.
I guess.
But Barbie and the Princess and the Pauper, like you can see with the Nutcracker, you can see them dipping their toes in, deciding what they're gonna do. What does a Barbie movie look like? How do we make one? And it was a good like first test, right?
Barbie and the Princess and the Pauper has blown up multiple times on TikTok in the last few years. So even those of you who have not seen the movie might be familiar with the song, I'm just like you.
You're just like me.
You're just like me.
And don't you see?
It's clear for everyone to see.
That's what else. Okay, so talking about the Princess and the Pauper, this one does not begin with an intro from Barbie to Kelly.
No, it does not.
It instead ends with something different, but this is the Prince and the Pauper, but it's also so much more. It's like...
The stakes are high.
It's like they knew that they didn't do much with the Nutcracker, and they were like, well, now that we know we can do one, let's put fucking everything into this movie.
They were like, hey, Barbie knows what real potential consequences are. In this movie, the entire kingdom is on the brink of poverty. We open on the struggles of the queen, knowing that they have run out of gold and that people are going to go hungry. And the pressure of the princess to marry a king in order to save their kingdom.
Right. Plus, the animals in the movie also talk, but only to each other, and they have their own shit going on.
And various accents, and really varied accents.
Yeah, the animals are from all over.
We've got Brooklyn, we've got Cockney.
There's I believe one of them is French. There's a lot going on. But also, like, the funniest thing about the setup for these stakes is the queen literally goes to the mine, and they walk out of the mine, and they go, there's no more gold. Like there was gold yesterday, and now
That's
we're not.
it. No
there's
more
no more
gold.
And then the queen like almost looks directly down the lens and goes, "Then the kingdom is bankrupt forever." And you're just like, "Hey, lady,
Yeah.
Surely you knew that there was like the gold was slowing down. Surely you made some. Did you invest the kingdom's gold in anything?
No.
What were you doing? What kind of ruler are you?"
But in this, they mentioned too that like our people are going to starve, and I just felt like I was like, "Damn,
Yeah.
that's a big topic."
Then we
for this
cut
movie.
to Barbie, whose parents, or the other Barbie, the princess
two
is
Barbies.
Annalisa, and the pauper is Erica.
Yes.
Erica, her parents were like, well, we had a baby, but we can't afford to raise it, so we're gonna take a compound interest loan from the worst woman in town, and whoops, it turns out that now because of that loan, our daughter is a literal indentured servant. Uses the term indentured servant.
Allow me to play you an audio clip. I'm just gonna put it into the microphone here.
Yeah.
Castle? I'm savoring a first and last taste of freedom before getting married next week. To a total stranger. At least you're not an indentured servant. Indentured servant?
Yeah.
That's from the movie.
Sorry your arranged marriage. Sorry about your arranged
Sorry, you have to
marriage.
marry a king.
Sorry you have to marry a king to continue ruling over all of us. By the way, you have indentured servants living in your kingdom.
Bro, and then they have this lovely conversation. Okay, so let's give you the general story of this. They interact, they realize they look the exact same, except one is a blonde and one is a brunette. They even made the choice to have the two characters voiced by the same voice actor. Not their singing voices, but their speaking voices.
They have two different singing voices, which I liked.
I would have liked them to have two different speaking voices, in my opinion.
No, I like that they or I would have liked the actor who has been the voice of Barbie for years. I would have liked her to do something different with one of their voices, and then when they're pretending to be each other, they have to do each other's voices.
Look, hit me with the British and non-British princess.
Parent
It's
Trap
a classic.
Parent
we
Trap
all
it.
know it. Give us any kind of princess protection program. Any of it.
Any of that stuff.
So, anyways, they meet in this town square where she's singing, and she's like, "Wow, we look so much alike." And the girl tells her, "I'm an indentured servant," and she's like, "Wow." Anyways, it was so nice meeting you. I hope you could come sing at the castle sometime. I'll send someone for you. Now, when she's like, wow, that's really terrible that that's your situation, not once does the princess go, I absolutely have the power to change that.
Yeah, this is not something that I can allow to go on in my kingdom with a good conscience. No, it's
She's like
the princess literally goes, well, you look like me, so you must be one of the good ones. You can come to the castle and hang out. Now, at the same time, where is the gold going, you might ask? Well, the gold is going to the Jew-coded villain, who is the queen's advisor, played, once again, they know where to put their money, by Martin fucking Short, who crushes in this movie.
You can always tell which people hanging out in the, like the people who are like disguising themselves as good guys within the court. You can always tell which ones are going to turn out to be the bad guys because they've all got big noses.
They got big. This guy literally like looks into the camera and goes, and his whole deal is he's going to kidnap the princess, or no, he initially was going to just steal all the gold. Then when they run out of gold, he'll be like, don't worry, I'll go figure something out. Come back with the stolen gold and be like, I fixed it. Now you have to marry me. Motherfucker. That's like, I had a roommate try to steal my like Discman once.
I remember this story.
I had a roommate try to steal my Discman, and I was like, hey man, isn't that my Discman? And he was like, no, I got one that was just like yours because I liked yours. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Is that my gold?
Is that my gold? Is that my fucking gold, bud?
So he wants the queen to marry him, and the queen has another solution, which is to get the princess married to a young king of another wealthy kingdom. But they don't know each other. They've never met. There is also a tutor in the castle that is doing his best and looking out for the princess when the princess is inevitably kidnapped by the guy who wants to marry her mom.
So many people in this movie get thrown into sacks.
Yeah.
Like so many, like if this movie like wants to push the plot forward, what it does is it throws somebody into a sack. The princess gets thrown into a sack. Erica gets thrown into a sack. Julian, who's the kind-hearted tutor, gets thrown into a sack. Everybody, and there's just this whole thing of like, you go live in the castle while we look for the princess. The princess is over here, but I think she's escaped. This dog, this
cat,
this dog is French and mean. And it belongs to the...
Oh, yeah. The dog is French and mean. The cat barks.
There's a cat that barks and thinks it's a dog.
That consistently, exclusively barks.
There's a musical number about it through which the pauper finds out that it's okay to be a pauper because she wants her cat to feel okay barking. There's so much original music in this film.
Yeah.
And, but I hope this was somebody's first composing job, because they got to compose a lot of music.
There's so much music in it.
But, bud, it's not great.
Hey, I'm going to stand by A Girl Like Me or whatever that song is called.
No, there are two main songs.
Slaps.
So it's I'm Just Like You or A Girl Like Me, whatever that's called.
I Am a Girl Like You.
I Am a Girl Like You.
Yeah, because I am a girl like you.
Now,
yeah.
There's some lyrics in there that do not understand what the characters are about, but it's a catchy song. It's got a good duet. And then... Martin Short, the villain's number, How Could You Refuse?
Yeah.
Is a sick number.
Absolute club banger.
And they have Martin Short sing it like 4 times because they know. Because they know. The rest of this music can fucking get flushed down a Skibidi Toilet.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something, you don't need it. You don't need any of this music. But I get it. Kids love musical numbers in movies. And so they were making smart investment decisions with this film. And it's way better than the Nutcracker. It still has a lot of those things where it's like they're cutting costs, the animation is getting better, but it's not great.
Yeah.
But it's paced better. It feels more like an actual animated film. They're getting there.
I'll also say it's getting gay. The moment where the princess and Erica meet in the town square, there are multiple moments where you're like, you gonna kiss?
You gonna kiss?
You gonna kiss? It's a question. If you found a clone of
When
yourself,
they first
what would
meet,
you do?
dude, when they first meet each other and they look up and they're like,
they get real close to each
get
other's
so
faces.
close. And I'm like, why don't you kiss about it, Barbie?
Kiss about it, Barbies.
Hey, Barbie.
I do want to acknowledge one of the songs in particular. There is a song called "To Be a Princess."
Right. So obviously there's got to be a scene where the pauper has to learn how to be royalty. You got to do it.
You have to do it.
But you can't do a montage because we don't have the money for that.
No, but there is a book of etiquette that'll teach her exactly how to be a princess that can be sung. Now, there's a list here of all of the things required to be a princess that you can and cannot do. And I'd like to go through it with some of y'all and just list some of it off here.
See, put a finger down challenge. Let's see if you're royalty.
Okay. Know which spoon to use.
Yes.
Has 1,000 pairs of shoes.
Yes.
Okay. Maintain a regal gait.
No.
Okay. Leave the parsley on your plate.
Yes.
Charming but detached. Yeah.
I'm detached.
Yeah.
Would you call me charming?
I would call you charming,
All right, that's
Anthony.
3.
I think
Thank
you're very
you.
charming. Never confused.
Oh, sorry. Couldn't be me.
No. Do a plie.
And never fall.
Okay, I can do a plie.
I can't, and I do fall.
Yeah. Never stray from protocol. Ooh. Yeah. Keep a grip and never crack. Not going to be for me.
No.
Stiffer lip and arch the back. I have scoliosis. My back is always
I was going to
arched.
say, my back is arched the wrong way.
Yeah. Bend from above and wear your gloves. So that's a don't bend at the knee, bend at the hip, I think, which is actually typically the other way around.
Right.
Pinky out, lift the chin. Okay, all right. Not too bad. Always look your best. Never get rest.
Yep.
That's
Fair.
my whole hand. Never squirm. Sleep on a mattress extra firm. I hate an extra firm mattress.
I love a firm mattress.
Absolutely not. Be clever, never at a loss for words. Neither of us ever shut up.
Yeah, but we don't always have words to say.
I think you're clever.
Hey, thanks.
Curtsy at every count and lord.
Get fucked.
Get fucked. Never. And learn how to play the harpsichord.
I can do like 4 chords on the piano.
I've got nothing for the harpsichord.
But those are the rules. If you could do those, you're royalty. How'd you do? I'm semi-royalty, I think. I'm like a duke.
They lost me at you can never be confused.
I might be
I'm going to be honest. I am very confused right now.
I might be a viscount,
Fancy.
but I don't know what one is.
I think that this movie is great. I see why we all have the same nostalgia for it. However,
If I'd seen it when I was a kid,
yeah.
I would be like, no, this is pretty good.
And I did. And I love it for
Yeah.
that.
Seeing
I
it
love
as
the
an
Princess
adult-
and the Pauper for that. Now, here's the thing.
I'm like, this is a pretty mid-animated movie.
I'm seeing it as an adult now that has a deep hatred for royalty, and that definitely paints this in a specific way.
Yeah.
But if you do hate royalty, you can still love Barbie and the Diamond Castle.
Hey, Barbie and Teresa are gay, and that's canon.
Now,
This movie starts.
so gay. You see Barbie and her friend Teresa. Teresa's an ongoing character within the Barbie universe, sitting in a modern bedroom when Chelsea, the new version of Kelly, comes in saying that she's essentially just had a friend breakup and she's heartbroken about it. Barbie and Teresa are sitting there with their guitars singing a duet together and complimenting each other.
And the
They're
duet,
literally
the duet is
It's so
about
romantic.
The duet is about how much they love the other person being there for them, always like embodying everything they need.
Yeah.
How they like it's a love song.
It's a beautiful love song to
Yeah.
each other. It's adorable and it's very sweet. And then they finish it and they just compliment each other and they're just like, wow, you're so amazing. And then she's like, all right, I got a couple more chords. And they're so in sync.
Yeah.
They're so perfectly in sync. And like they're talking about how in sync they are. You know what I mean?
And then, Kelly comes in at the end of the song with her issue. And here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
This is something that I only noticed in this movie.
Yeah.
Because there were 3 of these characters speaking at once, 3 of like the Barbies, Mattel really has a voice guide to what a Barbie or a Barbie friend or sibling can sound like.
Yeah.
And they do not allow for different vocal types. This is more of what you were talking about in The Princess and the Pauper. When Barbie, Teresa, and Chelsea are talking at the same time, I can't tell who's speaking. If
No.
you close your eyes, it's all the same voice.
Yeah.
They hired 3 people.
They did.
I don't
They
know
all
why.
do sound alike.
But so Barbie says, hey, I know some people that had a friend break up too. Why don't I tell you about it? more gay singing, but now in a cottage where these two lesbian florists are worried about how to get through the day, but they're okay because they have each other.
It's the perfect cottagecore lesbian story. The two of them live in the forest, they pick their flowers, they don't have much, but they get by on their love.
Yeah.
History will say that they were roommates, and they aren't. They continue to sing about how they are everything the other person needs and how no one else has ever understood them or loved them in the way that each other has.
Listen, they're in a relationship, they're in love. They're down to their last bread and jam. They even have they're even a couple. They're like a couple. They're just like, hey, I just looked in the cabinet. You know what we can have? We can have either jam and bread or bread and jam.
And they're being sweet about it to each other too, in this like, we're making do because we love each other, and that's okay. They are presented with an opportunity.
Yeah,
long story short.
Yeah, basically they give their last bread and jam to an old woman in exchange for a rusty mirror. The mirror turns out to have a magical princess inside of it named Melody, who's literally their unicorn third.
Yes.
Like Melody,
that they carry around in a little mirror.
Melody immediately just starts harmonizing with all of their songs and complimenting them.
Yeah.
They literally just find a unicorn.
Yes.
That's what the movie's about.
In that, she leads them to the villain who has put her in this mirror. Essentially, their flower stand gets wrecked, and they're like, we're going to starve.
Yep.
Once again, high stakes for a Barbie movie. There's a lot of food insecurity in Barbie movies. And they have to go and they have to find the Diamond Castle. And there is a prophecy that two best friends would come to be princesses together to rule this kingdom if their love was strong enough for each other.
Did we mention that they make each other magical heart-shaped necklaces?
No, they have what they call friendship necklaces. And the villain even identifies when they get into a fight by saying, oh yeah, you took off your necklace, as if it's their rings.
Yeah.
Like it is their rings. They are a married couple.
Oh, okay. Put your necklace in the jar, and then we're all gonna draw necklaces later and go home with whoever's necklace we draw.
Literally, she was like, I can tell you got into a fight, you took your necklace off. Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
At the end of the day, they are offered these opportunities to become royalty, essentially. And they get into a fight because one person is like, I want to help people, and the other is like, I want to not struggle for once. My God, we've struggled forever. Can't we just have something nice?
And that's Teresa, because Barbie can't say that.
Barbie has to be the good one. And eventually they decide that they were so happy with their lives as little struggling cottagecore lesbians that they don't need royalty. They don't need a castle. All they need is each other.
That's right. As friends and roommates. And then Chelsea goes, I'm going to go make up with my friend right now.
There are two dudes in the movie that so don't matter that come in every once in a while and they're like, thanks, pal. Every time the dudes show up.
They try to give them Road to El Dorado vibes.
They do.
But they don't matter in the least.
The dudes are fine. They're fine characters. It is just simply that they do not matter.
They don't matter at all. One of the guys, the character's name is Jeremy. And the actor's name is Jeremy from. Jeremy from what? Jeremy from Barbie and the Princess Cat. Jeremy from the Barbie movie.
Yeah.
Just Jeremy from whatever. He doesn't matter. Do you get what I'm saying? Even the real guy's name is it don't matter.
It don't matter.
Jeremy is Jeremy from this.
They're putting back together the three muses. It's interesting. They got into a little bit of mythological stuff here. They're putting back together the muses to get the castle back together, to make sure that music is saved. Because otherwise this evil woman is going to make it so there's no music in the world. She's gonna footloose the music.
And once again, the woman who is playing this villain, who is not somebody that was immediately recognizable to me, does crush.
Yeah, a great villain.
She has a very
cool and hot.
She has a very Bernadette Peters as the wicked stepmother.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's giving Mother Gothel.
Yes. It's giving Mother Gothel. It's giving Rapunzel. Yeah, you know what it's giving. And it's wonderful. It's absolutely perfect. I believe it's Catherine Barr who plays Lydia.
Yeah.
This movie, now this is something interesting. This movie was done with financing from Universal and Nickelodeon. This is the first movie where they went to a studio and said, let's do this. It premiered on Nickelodeon. They have a little more money, and you can see it.
Absolutely.
The music is a little better. The animation quality is
A lot
way better. Way better.
Way better.
And honestly, it's more tightly written. I think Princess and the Pauper, just because Princess and the Pauper knew that it was a low budget movie and had moments where it was poking fun at itself.
Yeah.
Like there's a moment where like the guy who's literally always in disguises, the prince who's always in disguises, like comes up and is like, hey, I'm here to rescue you. And he's like in a knight's armor, and she's like, okay, so you're like really into disguises.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, that's good.
Yeah, you got some humor in there.
Like there's some fun stuff that they were making fun. This one didn't have as much as that. It was very, very earnest.
It's a love story.
Yeah.
And like, look, I love love stories where you think it is about a relationship between, like, those guys pop up and you think there's going to be a love story of them running off with them and being involved. The men don't matter at the end of it.
This is pre-Frozen.
It is pre-Frozen.
This is
where, you know, you're telling a love
pre-Frozen.
story of like familial love between sisters that you think is about something. This is pre-Frozen. This is not a familial love story.
No.
This is not a friendship love story. This is a gay love story. They are crowned princesses of music at the end of the movie and invited to live in the castle. But instead, they choose to return to their old life with their new pets. They're just like, we just want to go and raise our little animals in our cottage in the woods. And that's what makes us happy. We want to go home and we want to play music together and grow flowers. We want to garden.
They ask the witch at some point, hey, when this is over and we defeat you, can you just turn us into little frogs?
Yeah.
Can you just turn us into little frogs and we'll just live together on a lily pad?
At one point, you know, Barbie is playing Liana, obviously, and her best friend
Obviously.
Teresa is playing Alexa. At one
Obviously.
point, Alexa turns to Liana and said, "Would you still love me if I was a worm?" And Barbie says yes.
Of course.
As
She says, I would put you in a little jar with dirt and a little flour.
Yep. And I would hope to become a worm as well. But seriously, they realize that nothing can break true friendship and that all of this simply got in the way of them living their best life, loving each other in a cottage in the woods.
And then, like most Barbies, they end up scissoring.
Tell me that wasn't your experience with your Barbies. Tell me it wasn't.
We used to just find my sister's Barbies just like all scissoring.
Yeah.
It's like all scissoring. Bless their hearts. Bless their hearts. Hey, so those are the Barbie movies we're comfortable promoting this week. And that is, unfortunately, BBs, the end of Barbie week.
That's the end of Barbie week. There's a lot of more modern Barbie media that's very, very interesting that is not any of the things we're not talking about right now. I checked on like the YouTube channel, for instance.
The Barbie vlogs are pretty good.
The Barbie vlogs are very interesting. There's like the web series.
Life in a Dream House is supposed to be great.
Life in a Dream House, people love. The Barbie vlogs, I think, are really, really cool and sweet and earnest. And I clicked on the most recent one, and they were talking about how they can contribute to like being more mindful with climate change. You know?
It's good stuff. They're trying to do positive things, and it's they're putting a lot into it, and it's really showing. So yeah, that's Barbie week. That's a Barbie camera. It's digital. Thank you all so much for joining us. We have seen a lot of new people saying hello.
Hi, welcome
Hello,
in.
new BBs.
We're glad that you're here.
We appreciate you coming in and joining up. This is a wonderful community. I'm sure you've seen in the chat all through this.
So
Just
true.
good people.
So if you want to hang out and spend a little more time with those people, you can join the Discord. It is free to do so. You don't even have to be subscribed. We just want a good place for the BBs to hang out. We just want your own little cottage in the woods.
That's right.
To love each other
Everybody can be frogs and worms together. Think about that.
You can also do things like join the Patreon. We have a whole other community over there that helps us financially, and it's very cool of you. We appreciate it very much. You can do things like tell a friend about the show so more people come and watch the show. It's literally here for free. Come on now. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific.
That's right.
Anthony, where else can they find you?
You can find me everywhere online at a Carboni, except for here on Twitch where I'm at Anthony Carboni. And of course, my science comedy podcast, We Have Concerns with Jeff Kanata. every Friday as well at wehaveconcerns.com. New episode today. Woo! Go listen to it.
Today is also Friday, so you can find us tonight for Failed Save. It is the penultimate episode. We have one more episode after this one. Tonight we have the lovely special guest, Carlos Luna. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. Last week was real fucking weird, so I'm curious to see how we recover from that. You can find me everywhere on the internet at not Saige.
But also, she's not straight.
So true, bestie. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. I stream on my channel as well. We love you so much, BBs. We will see you on the Patreon if you're a patron in like some minutes or so. You know, whenever we get done with it. It'll be up today.
Just be cool about it.
Just be cool about it.
And if you're not a patron, we'll see you on Monday.
Bye, BB.
Bye, BBs.